Hello again, Rochester. This is Michael Wojcik with your Our Town Legislative Rundown. This week, Governor Tim Walz gave his fifth State of the State speech and the first of his second term. In that speech, he talked quite a bit about some policies that have already been enacted in the state of Minnesota and some items he hopes to see done here in the waning weeks of this legislative session. Certainly, he drew some contrast between Minnesota and some other places that are headed in a different direction, and as you would expect, responses to the speech tended to be along partisan lines, which is not to be unexpected in something like this. But we're going to take a look at some of the things that were and were not in the speech. One of my favorite lines from the speech is when Governor Walz wrote, "We've got another chance to be America's North Star, an opportunity to carve out a piece of the country where no child is left hungry, where no community is left behind, and nobody gets told they don't belong." That's some pretty high ambitions, and certainly something that, irrespective of party, we all really want for our state. Now, as consumers of public media, you may or may not be aware that the number 420 is often associated with cannabis, be it legal or otherwise. Furthermore, the date April 20th then has some particular meaning, and since that's happening this week, I figured I'd take a look at what is the progress on potential recreational cannabis in the state of Minnesota. Interestingly, Governor Tim Walz did not touch on it on his State of the State speech. It appears that next Monday there may be a vote on the House floor on legalization, and this is not the first time the House has voted on this topic. However, the Senate is where it might run into more difficulty, and we'll see if any action actually occurs with that this year. But again, it was not something listed as a priority by Governor Tim Walz. Locally here in Rochester and Olmsted County, Sheriff Kevin Torgerson has written an op-ed opposed to legalization of cannabis, while Representative Andy Smith has frequently spoken in favor of the topic. Also going on locally, Senator Carla Nelson has introduced two bills that would create an interchange at Highway 14 and County Road 44, also known as 60th Avenue West. This is potentially contentious because it would supersede MnDOT's prioritization. This would be one of the most expensive interchanges in the history of southeastern Minnesota. While there's been a lot of safety concerns there, some access mitigation steps have been taken. And why two bills? Well, this is not uncommon. One of them would get the funds from general funds and the other one would be from bonding. We'll see if it gets added to the overall transportation bill. And finally, and something that warms my bicycling heart, there is a potential $1,500 tax credit in the Senate transportation bill for the purchase of e-bikes. Why do I get excited about this? Well, not everyone can afford to go out and buy an electric vehicle. E-bikes are something that are fantastic for short trips and make biking a lot more available for people. This is a great way to reduce fossil fuel emissions in our communities and improve air quality. We'll see if that goes anywhere as well. This is Michael Wojcik with your Our Town Legislative Rundown.